What up, what up, what up? Welcome to this dope, exciting episode of 94 Feet with Coach with JT. Please do me a favor, man. I'm trying to get these subscribers up. I'm trying to get these likes up. Just working on this podcast and this brand, this label, this movement, this lifestyle. Again, 94 Feet with Coach JT, 94 Feet. I'm on. Man, I'm excited because I want to get to my guest. I've been trying to get to this young man. Yeah. I'm on Facebook, YouTube, all podcast platforms. DJ Eddie behind the scenes and the ones and twos. We in the 360 radio station. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Shout out to everybody at Our Place, though. Shout out to my homeboys, Steve the Barber, Chris Haynes, man, Aaron Haynes. Let's see, we just came from a dope barber event down there, man. We had vendor fair, they had barber battles, man. Check my page, check the YouTube, had some dope videos, some content. Took a picture with the homies, man. Just shout out to all the businesses, the entrepreneurs that was out there, the young barbers, men and women, the businesses was out there, the other barber podcast that was in the building. It was a dope event, man. Be looking forward for some more dope stuff from Barber's Dreams, man, located in Elk Grove, California. That's one of my dogs, and appreciate y'all for coming through. Man, this gentleman is from Nigeria. He has a clothing brand movement. And he won't, when I tell him this right now, so we should say this when I was in junior college in 2010, don't talk about it, be about it.
Yes, sir.
That stamp, that's on the shirt. I can show you the old sweatshirt we got it on, but now his clothing line is called ABAS. Always be about something. And yes, it's okay for me to support the brother because I let it give a look right next to you. He does it right back.
Yes, sir.
That's what we do, man. So Farouq, what's up, man? How you doing?
How you doing, man? Thank you for having me, for real. Thank you for having me. Like, it's an honor to be here, for real.
Nah, man.
I done seen you going like crazy, and I'm like, when I'm gonna get on? But like, I appreciate it if you're having me, for real.
Man, for me, even I was telling somebody else earlier, man, talking to my boy Chris Haynes, actually, for me, it's a dope feeling because you never know who may be tuning in to you or who may be inspired to trying to get on or link up and have some conversation. So I appreciate you.
Facts.
Man, I got a couple shirts. I got a hoodie at the crib that everybody be like, hey, that pink one is fire. I'm like, yeah, that's why I copped it. I didn't waste time. Bro, send me, hey, you better get the free one. You better send that money. I got the free one. Got another one. But before this, I want to get back like day one, man. You talking about Nigeria. I mean, just being born there, coming up there as a youngin'. What was that like?
So I came. So first and foremost, my name is Farouq. I'm a Nigerian born. I don't really call myself American, but American. So I came to America when I was 8 years old. So coming out here, it was a culture shock. Like, I didn't know I was black till I came out here. You feel me? Like, I didn't know being black was a thing until I came to America. So once I came out here, it was like a culture shock, like, oh shit, I'm black. And so that was the first thing I had to deal with, like the idea of race. You feel me? And then moving forward, it was like, the stereotypes and shit like that, right? Mm-hmm. I grew up not knowing none of this. So when I got out here, it was more so me trying to I guess understand and learn how to move properly. Mm-hmm. So a lot of my early years in life were just learning like the basic shit that people already know. So I feel like I was behind because if I knew what I know now, or like a little bit of what I know now as a kid, I think I would have had a leg up. So it was a lot of me trying to learn like just the regular shit that we know about.
What age? How early did that start for you?
I was in the 4th grade, so I was like 9 years old, 8 years old.
So that's it, and you coming in something so green, like, man, I'm just a kid. I don't see color. I don't see all that. I see people.
I promise you, I came. So when my folks came out here, we went to Hayward first, right?
Okay.
Hayward and the Bay Area was in there heavy, and then eventually we established a home in Fremont. And the first time somebody said to me, "Why you so black?" I was like, "What do you mean?" Like, I didn't know what they meant. Like, what you mean I'm black? Like, I was like, and
that's
like my mama broke it down to me. Cause my mom came out here a year before I came out here.
So she kind of tried to get her feet wet, get y'all settled in.
Exactly. So eventually when I came out here, and I told her, I was like, "Mom, what do you mean to be black? Like, what do you mean to be so black?" She was like, "Oh, they're making fun of you." Like, to the point where, like, when I was in the 4th grade, my name's Farouq, right? My full name is Farouq. So people were calling me Farouqy Dookie, like on some like joking shit.
Right.
And I'm like, oh, they fuck with me like it's a joke. And my mom was like, Dookie means shit, Farouq. Like, that's not good. They don't like you. I was like, oh, because I'm thinking like, oh, they got nicknames for me and shit. So it took a lot of learning to understand, like, oh, y'all don't fuck with me, but y'all stood it in my face, but I don't know. So it's like, yeah, it was definitely tough, but like my mom was also the person that like gave me the tough skin I have now. You feel me? So yeah, it was rough coming out.
That's something that as a kid, especially being so, as kids are being like young kids are just they're so open books and
Right.
you know the world is big to them. It's super massive, but then to have somebody put you in a label,
Right.
or put you in a box.
Mm-hmm.
What type of strain, if any, or did it hinder you from being somebody you want to be, or kind of go at things differently at an early age? Because I mean, you know, at the elementary age, it's like kids should have been inspired or would have been inspired to be something else, be that, be whatever. But did that kind of have you pull back, stick to yourself, have friends, or what?
I'm not gonna lie to you. Again, my mama gave me the tough skin I have today. My mom would make fun of me in the ways that I would say, like, my mom has better jokes than you. Like, I would say that in school.
So that wasn't nothing new to me.
It wasn't.
But
new
also,
to me.
it was just coming from them. It was like, but mom's just throwing me some
Mom's throwing me
haymakers at
some
home.
real hate. But also, what I do appreciate about that is, like, I wouldn't have the brand I have today without that. So in middle school, when my parents again were struggling immigrants,
Yep.
couldn't really afford the time. So I remember the Spazikes came out in the 7th grade.
Got it.
Spazikes, right? The first
Okay.
time they dropped. And I told my mom, I was like, I want these shoes. She said, how much they are? I was like 150, 200. She goes, who's gonna buy that? I was like, you? Like, she goes, nah.
Money don't grow on trees, bro.
Nah. And then so I couldn't get the Spazikes, and I had friends that were just rocking this shit, and I used to wear Airwalks in middle school.
Yeah.
My folks couldn't afford shit, but that's where the birth of my brand really started, because I got clowned so much for wearing Airwalks. I was in my science class, 7th grade, Miss Teresi, I can't forget it. I started drawing shoes, because I'm like,
ones you wanted or picture yourself in.
yeah. So I was like, so for me, it was like, okay, I can't rock what you wearing. Cool, great. But I've always been like artistic. I was in art school from 4th grade to 9th grade, right? So I couldn't rock what you were wearing, but at the same time, I can make some shoes on paper that you can never in your life ever rock. So that's where the whole birth of a brand for me started, because I started drawing shoes, then it became clothes. You feel me? But initially though, what started out was on shoes, because I got clowned on my shoes. So I would draw just renditions of shoes that I wanted to make, that I wanted to rock. And that's literally the birth of it. Cause so whenever I felt like somebody was clowning me, I would just go in my notebook and I would just draw. And I got in trouble because one time we were doing or what's that little ice thing that smokes up? Is it dry ice? Mm-hmm. So we were doing dry ice that week, but I wasn't paying attention. I remember I got in trouble heavy because I was drawing some shit and we're supposed to do an experiment with the dry ice, right? And she looks at me, she goes, Farouq, drop it in the bowl. And I'm not listening to her because I'm drawing. And she goes, Farouq, drop it in the bowl. And I'm like, not listening. And she comes over, what are you doing? And they know how to teach me, like, well, show the class what you're doing if you want. She showed the class and they go, oh, that's kind of nice.
She tried to embarrass you.
She tried to, but because I was drawing a shoe, but I was listening to her. And like the whole class was like, oh, damn, that's fire. And that's when I was like, I know what I got. And that's literally where the whole idea of like, I'm going to just keep doing what I do started. And I didn't know it was going to be something more until later in life, but that's where it started for me though, in 7th grade.
Go to that point. You get that response. What feeling how'd that make you feel when the cast like, hey, that's kind of clean, like, cause I know they gonna, it's all about clothes and shoes for middle school kids and up.
Right.
And elementary school kids, they gonna be like, hey, that was clean. What was that like?
I'm not gonna lie, it was validating. Like, I honestly didn't care anymore that I was in trouble. Granted, I got in trouble at the crib, but like, in school, I felt like I was him. I was like, you see, like, it was more so where it's like, people started acknowledging like, oh, you could draw for real?
Like, you good at it.
Yeah, and it was like, oh, I would have never guessed. Yeah, you overlooked me, type of shit. You feel me?
Let me
Can
ask.
I cuss on here?
You good? It's
Okay,
all
cool.
good.
I was
You
making
straight.
sure.
It's
Making
all
sure.
good. During that phase of your life, you're drawing.
Right.
What other thing? Any extracurricular things were you involved in, or was it all about the arts and getting through that school process?
Basketball was the other thing that really gave me solace. I wasn't good at basketball. Again, I came out here when I was 8 years old, so like I was already behind. People that I was playing hoop with, like I didn't make the. So when I tried out for the 5th grade team in elementary school, didn't make it, but I made the 6th grade team, and I became the captain actually. So the 5th grade, like I just learned basketball. I mean, granted, we had basketball now, don't get me wrong.
Yeah, for sure.
But I wasn't like really in it like that. Like I was just like, whatever, it is what it is. When I came out here, like y'all good, like y'all practice this.
They spend money on that stuff.
You feel me?
Spend
so
money
it's like,
on that thing.
And I'm in the Bay, so it's like that's like
hoop
for
central
of everything.
Yes, sir.
So I came out here and folks is good, like real, like 5th graders is hooping. I'm like,
they invested. Parents invested in money.
What the fuck? So so the 5th grade, I tried out, didn't even come close to making it. So that whole year, I just like dedicated myself to basketball, and that's where the love of basketball came from for me, because like I remember like dedicating myself to that. And then so basketball and art were my two main bread and butter.
So
Just trying to integrate with the kids
yeah.
as well.
So like you said, right, come and work on that craft. You dedicated to basketball, the art stuff. It's like I play basketball, train, all that stuff. How much time spending working on or drawing, trying to perfect your craft, get good, did you do? Was it a couple hours a day? I did nonstop. I did on the way home, riding, bus, whatever. How much time a day would you say you was working on your art skills?
So I say it like this. So in the 4th grade, we had an art project, like draw something you can like you can relate to. I just watched 101 Dalmatians, Cruella and all that shit, right? So I drew 101 Dalmatians, and I kid you not, hand to God, I got an early.
Wait, you mean like you drew 101 of them dogs?
No, I didn't draw all of them.
Okay.
But I drew like a rendition of like that and a Cruella.
Yeah.
I'm in the 4th grade though. I got an early admission. I don't know how to into the Art Institute
In the Bay.
I don't know where it was. I just know my parents got a letter.
Wow.
That told me like, oh, you're like.
So it must have been good.
It was amazing because my teacher submitted it for my parents to get the letter, right? So I got the admission into Art Institute. I don't know what it is. It was a red emblem. And so off of that, my parents then put me into art school.
That was validation for them to say, okay, let's.
Yeah, because the minute I got that letter and they saw it, I was enrolled into art against my, because again, it was like after school, I'd have to go 3 hours after school every day to go to art school. I wasn't.
After going to school all day.
After going to school all day. I didn't like that because for me, I'm like, I want to play with my friends. I want to kick it. But like the minute they got that letter, I was automatically enrolled in the 4th grade into art school.
I didn't know that. I didn't know they could even do stuff like that.
And that actually ran all the way into my 8th grade. So for 4 years, I was going.
That's max hours.
I hated it.
Hours.
I was good, but I hated it because it's like after school, they'd be like, "You want to do it?" I'm like, "I can't. I can't." Like I hated it. I had to lie to my dad to actually get out of art school.
Did that hinder your relationship with your parents?
Yeah, it did. It did.
But you didn't see it then.
No, even then I saw it because me and my dad wasn't the closest. So whatever my dad liked, I hated. Like I didn't. I wasn't the fondest of my father. I can say that now. But like now we have a great relationship or whatever. But like at the time, I was like my dad loved soccer. Mm-hmm. I was amazing at soccer. But the minute he took interest, I was like, I'm going basketball. Like
intentionally.
Yeah, intentionally. I was like, I don't want whatever you like. I don't want to do.
Yeah.
But the art school thing, my mom also liked it, and I love my mom. She's like my best friend at the time. So I was like, I'm gonna do it. But I really didn't want to because it took away my childhood from me. Like I had to they wanted me to be the best so I can do something and make money. And it's like because my dad isn't naturally. My dad can draw you. He can look at you and look away and draw you right now. Like I get my talent from my dad.
So that's something inherited too.
It's inherited for sure. But it's one of those things where it's like as a kid we
didn't see that. We don't see it.
You despise him so much. He's like, I don't care.
Doing something that I don't want to do too. Though. I don't want to do this.
I don't.
This is not what I want for me.
Facts.
Damn, that's a good and that's a crazy to get to that point. They invested, they see it in you, and they immediately. I'm still astonished by that acceptance to the art school type thing, though, bro. That's dope. That's ridiculous. I didn't know you could even do that. And then put you in a school in the 4th grade.
I didn't know that either.
That's crazy. That's wild.
They put me in that movie.
Get to middle school situation with the classroom.
Right.
What high school did you go to?
So I went to middle school in the Bay, and then my dad had a business. He sold African foods and stuff, right? All his clientele were in the Valley. So we moved to Tracy. I don't know if you know that.
Yeah, for sure.
We moved to Tracy. So I started high school in Tracy. So I went all my middle school, elementary school was in the Bay. Moved to Tracy.
Totally dynamic change.
Literally changed my whole life because my pops. Again, this is where I was like my dad for a minute.
Y'all beefing.
Because I'm like, bro,
why you moving me?
I'm in middle school and you want to move me?
Yeah.
Now I got to start a whole school with people I don't even.
And they look different in everything. I mean, as far as where you come from, the Bay Area, the dynamic's different. The music.
In Tracy, it's not like the Bay at all.
Yeah, for sure.
Not at all.
It's different.
So I'm we had probably 15 black kids in my school at one point. I mean, granted, it grew, but at one point I could literally count us. It's crazy. But I mean, it is what it is. I couldn't really do much about it. So I moved to so I went to high school at West High.
Okay.
Now, West High is very diversified now. But when I was there, I mean, it was diversified, don't get me wrong, but it wasn't a lot of culture. It was just a lot of different looking people. But the culture wasn't there.
Culture.
The culture wasn't there. It was just, we looked different,
right.
But the culture wasn't there at all.
Dope.
In any capacity.
Still in the arts and down there, or what do you do? I mean, do you struggle being there your first year? Do you
I definitely struggle.
Jump right in?
I definitely struggled. So when I started school, I just wanted to make friends. I didn't really I didn't care. art wasn't like my thing. I wasn't trying to be the art. Like I just wanted to make friends. Like, cause again, I'm new.
Right.
So the folks that I met outside of school, cause we moved in the summer. So like I got a chance to meet a couple people, like playing basketball at the park and this and the third. You feel me? So like I met a couple people at the park, and I actually met one of my one of the people that helped me create. This is crazy. The person, Brandon, the person that helped me create the name ABAS, I actually met him the summer before I even started school. But we didn't lock in though. We just hooped.
Associated with each other.
We just hooped, like, cause my house is literally in front of the park.
That commonality, hey.
You hooped,
park, yeah.
That's so we went to the park, we hooped. It was what it is, and then I saw this nigga at school, and it's like, oh shit, you go here too?
Yeah.
Okay.
Cool.
But like later on in life, he helps me come up with the name ABAS, which is crazy now I think about it. I never thought about that.
That's dope. That's like timing is everything. We spoke already before.
Timing
Timing,
is literally
right?
everything. Yeah.
Growing up through there, man, you're developing as a young man, gentleman, going through life. What did you inspire to be? Like, look forward to doing. What was your mindset on at that point? What was on your number one option or plate? 9th, 10th, and
11th grade, I wanted to be a doctor.
Okay, that was strictly just you. You wanted to be that, or was
I wanted to be a doctor.
Okay.
Specifically a psychologist is what I wanted to be.
Right.
Which is a doctor, obviously, but
yeah.
I remember going to what's that thing called, the little fair things y'all do, the school fairs, whatever.
Yeah,
where you try
college fair or something like that.
Whatever. I just wanted to be a psychologist. Like,
right.
One of my biggest thing was I didn't understand my father and the way he thought, and I wanted to understand it. And for me, psychology was the only way I could do that.
Trying to get inside his head, to think how he was looking at stuff or looking at me to do stuff. You wanted to make sure that happened.
Literally, and I wanted to be from 9th, 10th, and 11th grade. I wanted to be a psychologist. So somewhere in the 12th grade, something just switched in me. I was just like, I don't care anymore. But I still went to college, and I still majored in psychology for the first year and a half. And then once I learned some things, and I could just look at my father and have empathy, and I was like, I don't care anymore.
That's a key word, though, empathy. Because the more you learn about somebody or engage in communication or conversation, you can have the empathy, but you know, okay, I feel different about you.
Right.
But if you don't get to that point, like I'm in the mental health field there too, so I'm like, you know what I mean? I'm a mental health family advocate at the John F. Kennedy High School in South Shack, Green Haven, Pocket, whatever. My Kennedy alumni, but yeah, shout out to my boys, my hoop team, man. Love y'all boys. Yeah, because until you try to, you break down that barrier of communication, or you say, oh, you know what, let me just listen to somebody. Just let me listen. 'Cause a lot of kids I talk to, they want somebody to listen. They just want somebody. He or she won't listen to me before. You know, we're in a city society where we judgment. Like I said, these devices, these phones, the judgment. They look for that whatever, that relief, that like button. But sometimes, or most of them now, like, okay, it's disrupting them so much. Now to reel them back in, they want somebody to hear about their story, hear their struggles. To maybe we can understand where they come from. That way, maybe understand better to help them.
Facts.
If we listen, try to find commonalities, or somebody else. If I can't do it, I'll give. Hey, I know somebody who can relate to you. Maybe you talk to him.
Yeah.
Because that way we can support and change the outcomes of what, you know what I mean.
Facts.
So definitely that's something that is needed, and it can help in all walks of life. Though we doing this right here, this platform. We speaking. I'm sure somebody watching. I'm sure somebody gonna be inspired. I'm sure you're not the only guy from Nigeria. You feel me? So hopefully everybody else tap in. Oh no, I know it's a lot of men. It's a lot of but it's in the world. Everybody can watch this. All y'all across the world watch this. I want everybody across the world to get on this. But definitely, man, it's a space now that we're tapping into. But also want to be intentional while we're in that space, because it can help change, save lives. Yeah. Especially our youth, though. As we know, man, it's different for them right now. It's totally different.
Right.
Throughout high school.
High school's a mother. If you make it through high school, man, I just want to say this to you real quick.
Especially now more so. And I was like, man, I enjoy mine so much, but now I don't see the joy in school. I'm like, I loved going to school, seeing the homies, hooping, going to dances, hanging out. I went to class. Like, I love going to class. Maybe I had one or two teachers was like, but I was in class. Why? Because all my homies in class.
In class,
we're in class together. We're in
Facts.
class. And now it's like, I try to find, why y'all not in class? Or why are they self-medicating outside to do other stuff so they can't be around or feel certain things, or just not go to class? Like, that's the thing I'm still struggling with, trying to figure out how can I help these be in class, but also helping teachers relate to make the class, find a way to make the class a way to be, or even just more relatable activities, right? So I know teachers don't like phones like that, right? But now you got to integrate a cell phone in your classroom, because let's take a quiz on your cell phone now.
I literally never understood that whole, like, get off your, like what was I doing? In high school, like, don't be on your phone. That was like a big thing for us. If you're on your phone, you get in trouble.
Right.
I literally don't understand. Like, what did it hinder?
So for you, I think me speaking, I'm educated too.
Okay.
Teacher, professor, whatever you want to call it, a little bit of everything. I think your phase even back then, not saying back then, right? I had to tell him, man, I was the 4-0. He was like, what? Yeah, man, I've been around a minute. I've been in education for graduated in 2000.
Couple moons.
Yeah, right.
Couple moons.
But it's like it was still new back then. So that's what it was like. I was probably the ones who like, hey, put it away. But now with the technology and the able to like Kahoots online, take tests, do exams, you can bring it over. You can bridge the both to where, you know, okay, look, as a teacher, I gotta bend them a little bit, but now I'm gonna put you, pull your phone out, you got a test to do. It's interactive.
Right.
Now you get kids, oh man, competition, they ain't trying to lose, but they get an assignment done and they getting points for your assignment. So as an educator, if we help maneuver and shift that movement with that, but be intentional in teaching through a device that's gonna help the kids learn, because that's what they own. Right. You gotta meet them where they're at. They got Google Chromebooks, smartphones, they got iPods at school now. So that's the thing I know. But I was like that first, I was like, nah, we gotta do a better job at that. Right. And you gotta monitor too, because I'm still in like, look, sometimes y'all gotta learn how to listen, because I tell y'all that phone ain't gonna be there all the time. What if it go out? That battery go dead, you know, that Wi-Fi go out, you like, ooh. I've seen kids struggle, bro. Right. That phone, they just like, they can't function. Right. That's the only down part about that, but you got to function without it. That's why, I stress communication, advocating for yourself. You know what I'm saying? Not just sending messages to teachers or emails all the time. Go talk to them. Go talk to your teacher. And I went up to my teacher, hey, what's up?
I was big on the emails in college. Like, I wish I just pulled up on my professors like, hey, man, this is what I'm going through. Everything was email. Mind you, they was understanding, but like I feel like they would have took an extra step for me. Like, oh no, I see you. Like I see you as
physically.
Because when I see you, I see the human in you.
It's different. You know, like we've met once before. We got a shirt before I picked up, but it wasn't like that. But then now coming in the aspect of just following each other, comment, getting messages back and forth. But then now it's okay. Now we're speaking. It's like, okay, I really see what bro doing. Yeah, I really see what he got going on. I can feel that the message only do so much, but now in the same room. The vibe, the audio, okay, it's genuine. You can feel the energy.
You can feel energy.
You can feel
surely.
it. You can feel energy, bro.
And that's what I was saying. Like I've been seeing what you do, and I'm just like, when I'm gonna get on, man. Like,
I appreciate
put me up. I was like, put me in, coach.
Yeah.
Put me in the game.
Made the call a couple days ago, but say, yep.
Yeah, it's good.
What time? I'm there. You know what I mean? That means something for real, man. That's super solid. Facts. So we talk about college, man. Come out of high school, I'm a homebody. I'm gonna stay close. College. What did you do? Where'd you end up going? How'd you pick your school?
Honest to God, I went to the first letter that came into the house. College wasn't something that so I'm Nigerian, so my parents were big on college. Like, you have to go to college. Like,
hey, I was gonna. I know that I do know, right? I got a lot again. Nigerian homies, boys I've coached, boys I know now. Like that, their education. Parents, everyone I interview.
Play about that.
Yeah, I'm tied to Shoots, UC, Rockwood, all them, those boys, like Rockwood, those boys, like they're like. Their parents didn't play.
They don't play that.
They know.
So my parents was like, you have to go to college. I was like, all right, man. I'm like, the first college we get, I told my mom, like, look, the first letter to come in is where I'm going.
Taking it. What was
Sac State.
Sac State.
Was the first letter I got. Like, mind you, I got UCR, I got San Diego, but I literally, because I didn't care. I didn't get.
So you just said, oh yeah, it's there. I'm taking it.
I didn't care. Like, I was just like, I know, because I had good grades in high school, because I had to, because my parents.
They wasn't playing?
Like, so it's like, when it was time, I was like, wherever come first is where we going. And Sac State happened to come first, and I was like,
so you don't got to go that far down the road.
Yeah.
But now, you away from home.
Mm-hmm.
What was that like?
Liberating. It was liberating.
Yeah.
Also hindering, though, because I feel like because I finally had a freedom that I never had before, I didn't know how to maintain it. I was just like, with whatever. Like, what we doing? Like, we outside? I'm outside.
What year did you get there?
2012.
2012. I'm trying to think what movement was that going on in SAC 2012. Damn, I'm telling my age now. I don't know. I am telling my age now. I'm trying to think what movement that 2012.
2012. I just know.
So that was yeah. So y'all SAC State.
It was lit.
So I mean, that was what club? You was youngster, but then Club Blush was downtown. J Street was popping. But you went to the frat parties off. I mean, not frat parties. The parties off 65th.
Yep.
That way.
Yep.
Man, the
65th over there. 65th.
Yeah.
The UVs. We was heavy enough. We was heavy over there.
You get here,
and then
major is still psychology at the point.
At the time, yeah, psychology for a year and a half.
We already started talking about struggles and stuff and like that successes already, but
I was broke.
So you get the college. Okay, let's hit it then. So coming here, leaving the crib from Tracy.
Yeah.
Ramen noodles and what was you eating on?
Hey, I ain't gonna lie to you. I remember a story when I was literally looking for quarters on the floor to go buy ramen. Like, not because, mind you, like people be like, oh, my mom's a nurse.
They assume that.
My mom's a nurse, right?
Yeah.
So people look like, granted, people assume you're just gonna go to your parents, right? But at the same time, my parents didn't agree with my lifestyle. So because of my lifestyle wasn't what they wanted, they didn't support me. Because like people be like, oh, but your mom, she make okay. But my mom was big on like, if you don't want to do what I say,
you gotta go get it on.
You gotta go do what you want to do and get it how you want. So I remember like I got kicked out. So
yeah,
we're gonna fast forward. We're gonna come back to it though, right?
Good. Do what you
So freshman year, I live in the dorms, right?
Yep.
Sophomore year, I get kicked out the dorms. So I'm homeless for about like 5 to 6 months. I lived in my car.
I hope y'all again had resources, but chose to be his own man. Mom said, "Nah, if you're gonna do this, okay." Get kicked out of the dorm living situation. The first thing you don't do is call home.
Because they can't know that. My mom would kill me. I was like, I can't tell her, but I can't even say kicked out. I wasn't allowed to move into the dorms my sophomore year. Like I pulled up on my stuff. It's moving day, and they said, "Oh, your name's Farouq. Come to the office. Let's talk to you real quick." And mind you, because so I was talking to my RA, which is the residential advisor.
Oh, you know that dorm life. For some of y'all.
I was talking to the RA in freshman year, and she was like, "This girl got her home." Because again, I had my home. I had a super single freshman year. So my mom, freshman going to college, was like, "I'll get you a super single." So I had my own room. I didn't share a room or nothing like that, right?
By yourself.
I tried to get her to do it again. Sophomore, she's like, "Nah, we ain't doing that. Like you got it freshman year, sophomore year, you're gonna get a roommate." I was like, "I really don't want a roommate." And so my RA was like, well, this girl in the past, like just a year ago, she's able to get her own room because she put her profile. Because you know how like people match your profile to be roommates? She was like, this girl got her roommate because she put a crazy ass profile and nobody matched her.
Nobody went with her.
So I was like, I'll bet. So I went schizo. I said, my name's Farouq. I got ADHD. I got Tourette's.
They ain't getting nobody. You can't get on the building with that. Didn't know that.
Somebody matched with me regardless though. He didn't read none of that. He just read my name's Farouq. And then when he read it after, it was like, I'm kind of scared. So they called me like, hey, we have to like check you like.
Background and all that. Make sure you're okay.
And I told him like, honestly, I was trying to get my own room. But they were like, well, you got to go talk to him to make sure it's good.
Okay.
I was like, bet. So I have a conversation with him and I tell him,
that
if nobody matches with you, you get your own room. He goes, wait, what? I was like, yeah, like if you don't match with anybody, you get your own room for the year.
Yeah.
He's like, oh, I didn't know that. Mind you, he said it's good to move in. He calls the office the next day.
Denied you.
I don't
want him in there.
So
get my own room.
You feel me?
So basically, your playing card, he played it back on you.
Oh God, and he got his own room. But so they were like, yeah, we can't let you move in. So mind you, I'm in Sacramento.
Yeah.
I'm supposed to be going to college. My parents think I'm in the dorms.
You live in where?
In my car.
What kind of car was it?
It was a Honda Civic. 2000.
A little car.
Honda Civic 98.
Little Honda.
My sister moved to Sac though, like 2 weeks after that, so I was able to crash at her spot once in a while.
Okay.
But she was on the move because she was going to Carrington College.
Oh, Carrington, yeah.
She was on the move so much though, like I couldn't even catch her, like. So it was like, cause mind you, I don't have a regular, just you feel me. So, my sister is. So once in a while, I'll go crash at her spot and all of that. Oh,
that's all good.
Live ended. Once in a while, I would just crash at her spot, but for the most part, though, and that's when, honest to God, a lot of my friends don't even notice. That's when I started drinking a lot.
Then what?
Because it's funny to say this out loud. So my friend Erica, right? My friend Erica, my best friend Erica. That's when I started drinking a lot because I would drink, and I would get drunk to the point where I couldn't leave your spot.
So that's how they end up.
So they'd be like, "Oh, just pass out on the couch." I don't think they even realized to this day. But that's when I started. I would drink to a point where I'd have to like pass out on your couch.
Now, was that you said purposely?
It was on purpose. Because I know like you're not gonna let me drive. So I was like, I'm gonna drink. I would do it from different people too. So I would drink and be like, all right, I'm drinking. And they're like, oh, he drank too much. Just pass out on the couch. But I would alternate. But also my friends Poonie and Hermit, they made me a little futon in their crib.
Mm-hmm.
And they was like, yeah, like they knew my situation. They knew what I was going through. Nobody else did. They did. So they made me a little futon in their crib, and I would just crash on that too every now. But I'm not the type of person where it's like I'm gonna just stay there full on. So I would like alternate where I was at. But I knew if I needed something, end all be all, I can go to Poonie and Hermit spot.
Now, again, I've been in college. The alcohol consumption, all that stuff can get crazy.
Right.
But how bad did it get for you? With that?
It wasn't too terrible because I was lightweight. I wasn't drinking like that.
Okay.
So it wasn't like something crazy, but like I was in a place where it's like I was like I can't.
How long did it take for you to get out of that?
Maybe lasted like a month and a half, and then I started working on getting my own spot because eventually the school had to refund me eventually though, but it took them a while. So like,
with that funds that came back, you could try to get on your feet.
Yeah, so
get established somewhere.
The school literally I was in the, so I had to talk to because they were trying to kick me out of the school completely.
Mom would have went crazy.
She would.
You wouldn't be here right now.
I would not be here, but like, so they tried to kick me out the whole school completely. So, after I kicked out the dorms, and I remember the person that kicked me out the dorms. Every time I see him on Sax Day, I'd be like, and he a black man. I'm like, bro, what the fuck? Come on, bro. Like, but they say, man, all skin folk ain't kin folk. You feel me? But it's like, I leveled with you. You saw I'm an intelligent man, and you still felt like whatever. It is what it is.
Yeah.
But they kicked me out of school, and he told me like, you'll get refunded, but we have to go through a review
process. Yeah, all that.
And that review took months.
Mm-hmm.
Mind you, it didn't take you months to take my money, but it took months to get it back.
Facts.
So I had to meet with the dean
Consistently.
4 times.
Yeah.
4 times. The dean thought it was funny. Nobody else. The dean thought it was funny. He laughed, and I'm like, if the boss laughing, why this man that's in charge of tripping? Because he didn't take it lightly at all. Like the black dude that kicked me out of Sax Day at the dorms didn't think it was funny at all. Because I literally was like trying to talk to him,
right? And
I giggled. He was like, "It's not funny." I'm like, "Okay."
Serious? Okay, yeah, I feel what you mean.
But the dean was like, "That's hilarious. Like you tried." I was like, "Yeah, I just thought it would like."
Oh, based on what you tried to get.
Yeah, and he thought he was like, "That's funny." He said,
"But you're college kids, right? We college, like
I'm 19 years old."
Yeah.
And he was like, "That wasn't the smartest thing, but it's funny though."
Right.
Like he saw the humor in it and what I was trying to do.
Exactly.
Whereas the dude, but
Probably
mind
took
you,
it
also
personally.
maybe the dude that was black was expecting more out of me because he
do
is
better.
black. Like do better. Like you feel me?
Right.
So it could be.
And he could have saw the intelligence in you. Like I know you're a smarter man.
Yeah.
You feel me? But that's and being 19, we may not see that like that because we at 19 we're not thinking that way. But again, you never know what investment they may see in.
Right.
Or also it could. I mean, I'm not sure you say the year before though too, right? He probably seen the year before too. Was like, this dude ain't never been no problem. Now he want to try. You know what I mean? Now he went to the deep end. Like, come on, bro.
Freshman year, I was killing it. I had almost all straight A's. Like for real. Freshman year. Like, School's never been a problem for me. I never had a hard time with school. Like it's always been.
Yeah. Go to that first year major. When do you switch your major? Why? How do you do that? What do you do?
I switched my major a year and a half in.
To what?
I switched it to sociology.
Okay. Getting to that, man, you learning things, the brain's going like.
It's very similar to psychology. It's just it's less analysis, less analytical.
Okay.
So like for me, once I went through psychology, I remember freshman year, me and my friend Puni, we got the 2 highest score in that class on the test. I got 100, he got a 98. And she said it like, this is the highest anybody's ever scored. Once I got that, and I started to understand why. Like I started to understand why my father thought the way he thought. I no longer care because the more
you said no one cared about what?
The more I understood, the more empathy I had. I didn't want that, so I just like stopped.
You didn't want to feel that way.
I didn't want to have empathy for this. I didn't like it. I didn't like him.
Wow.
Back with you. Like.
Oh, okay, yeah, pops. Okay.
Yeah. So like the minute I could say I understand, I was like, I don't want to understand.
Other way.
I don't want to understand. I'm mad at you, so I don't want to understand.
Other
this.
way.
And then, so the minute that happened, I was like, yeah, we can go to sociology. Learn everybody.
At what point do you begin? And you're how old right now?
28.
28. Lived a little. Been through some stuff.
A little bit.
Get through college.
Yeah.
Get that degree.
Got the degree.
How was that feeling for mom and pops?
Oh yeah, euphoric. They was going crazy, and that's when I saw like my college. Most people post like college graduation as a college graduation.
It's for the parents.
My college graduation was the epiphany to how much I accept my father now. I mean, I archived it now, but on my post, like it was me and my father hugging my graduation cap.
Through everything.
And that's when I saw my father like different. I was like, I get it. I get it.
Respect for you though, for seeing that though, as a male one.
Right.
But then also, I mean, it ain't never gonna be easy for us, regardless, father there or not there. But then also, now you're 10, you're like, that's a major accomplishment for you. But I can imagine what pops was like. Even though I know he butted heads, he may not like me, he probably whatever. But this is what I was trying to get him to. This right here.
Right. And we had a conversation when he said like, cause like my dad started trying to, when I was 18, when he dropped me off at college, right? He tried to hug me, and I said, "What are you doing?" I literally spazzed on him like, "What you doing?" Like he literally was crying and tried to hug me.
Cause he knew what he was dropping his son on.
I was like, "What
you no longer the little daddy boy type." Like,
what you doing?
Like, dropping you off.
We
somewhere.
Don't do this. Like we never. My mom told me I love you when I was like 22, the first time.
So the affection was never shown too much.
Affection wasn't big enough. It wasn't big. So like me graduating and like seeing my father cry and like seeing the joy he had and he got all dressed up and all of that.
Oh yeah.
Telling all his partners like my son graduated. Like I'm like, oh, you really proud of me for real. Like it took that for me to be like, oh, you love me for real. Like,
that's the 18 year, 9 whatever years. He was just like it just probably holding up like that graduation. He could just go. It's all out. I'm going full in.
He went crazy, and I was just like, damn. And I was like,
the acceptance came.
I apologize for not seeing what you was trying to do because I don't get it because I'm not you. But at the same time, like I appreciate you for like me and my dad have a relationship now. We have an understanding. Like we're not the closest, obviously, but like I can't. My father loves the way he does, and it's just like I can't try to make you me. You're you.
And I think he was trying to make you.
Exactly.
And not you him back then. But you know what I mean? Like just be you, son. But I'll make sure I'm gonna keep you during these paths so you can avoid some stuff that Pops went through.
Exactly.
So you can avoid some bumps that Pops went through because you can imagine what Mom and Dad had to go through just to get here.
They went through. My mom. We just talked about that 4 days ago. We talked about what they had to do before we came to America and like what they was doing. But it's like even my dad had a business too though. That's another thing. Like, and it's like, bro, I'm my father's son to it.
You know, and moms always say, bro, that used to drive me nuts.
It still
you
does.
look just like your dad. I'm like, I know all that's true, but don't tell me that.
I look exactly like my father. That's the crazy part.
Me too.
I said my father has hair.
My dad got dreads this long still. He's from Jamaica.
But it's like, I look exactly like this man.
Too.
And it's like,
I do too.
He
bro.
had a business and all of that. And it was my mom was like,
yeah,
you're your father's son. And I used to fight it so much, like, nah.
Yeah.
But now I'd be like, yeah, that's my dad. Like, that's my daddy. Like, I can't front it.
Yeah,
the sooner I admit it, the more the faster I can succumb and surpass what he ever did.
Yeah, definitely. I definitely agree with that too, bro. That's not even funny because it's so true. At what point do you think, okay, you know what? I'm gonna put this thing on a shirt. I'm gonna start something and put this together and turn it into something more inspiring, something that's meaningful, something that's colorful. I mean, the colorways. I mean, everything, man. Something that's you.
Right.
Something that's you, but also it can be for everybody because it's positive message. It's no age limit, no color on it. It's for any and everybody. Any person.
So when I was 17, like I said, shout out Brandon McGee. I would never go a day in life and not shout that man out.
That's love, man. Shout out Brandon McGee. One more time. Appreciate you, dog.
So it's like me and Brandon were playing basketball, right? And the crazy part is for New Year's, I plan to go to that park and just sit there with a champagne bottle and pop it. So me and Brandon was playing basketball at a park, not Kavanaugh Park. It's a park in Tracy across the way from our, so we live in Westgate, but across the street is a park. I forgot what it was. My friend Tyrose lived in that corner. So we went to that park. We were playing basketball, right? And we playing 1-on-1. I'm competitive. I'm as competitive as it comes. So I'm talking shit, but I'm losing though. So I start saying, "You ain't never been about shit," like, cause I'm losing. I'm trying to get in his head.
Right.
You ain't never been about shit. You never been about shit. Like, you ain't shit. I'm like, you ain't shit.
How kids be talking? How kids be talking and going in?
He say one response. I always been about something.
Always.
I said, what? I always been about something, and I paused. We literally paused together, and I said, ABAS. And he said, what? I'm like,
always been about something.
But at the time, it was always been about something.
Okay.
It wasn't be about something. It was always been. I always been about something. That's why it started off as for real. He said, I always been about something. I'm like, nah, you ain't been about shit. He said, I always been about something. We stopped. And we just started like, ABAS. And I'm like, oh shit, that's fire. Like for some reason, that was like.
I was always told, just like when coaching, talk about applying pressure, picking up full court.
Right.
But I was like, man, I got, not just for now, something to stick for longevity.
Forever.
I was like, stay doing. I was like, and then somebody told me, when you know, Jay, you know.
No, yeah, no.
And I was like, stay applying pressure. I was like, ooh, I'm like,
that's hard.
I'm like, in anything you do, like, stay doing it. And I'm like, but when you know, you know.
Like, in that moment, it hit me in a way that I just couldn't let go of it. So, like, when we started ABAS, right, it was just something, it was me and, like, my 7 closest friends in high school, right? There were 6 of us. So I was total of 7 of us, but 6 of my other closest friends. So we just said ABAS on something like, hey, man, don't be a bitch, be about something. Like, like if we were doing something, we'd be like, ABAS, man. Like, it was our slogan.
That was the motto.
That was just the motto. We did it. And I was like, bro, this gotta be big. Like, in my head, I was like, this is more than this. Like, so I started designing shirts on Custom Ink. That's a website you can go on.
Yeah.
At graphics and shit. Sorry. So my first shirt that I ever designed, custom ink, I still got the picture to this day. It's the, you know how the Hulk yell out, because at the time it was called ABAS Click.
Okay.
Because we were like a click.
Yeah.
So it's ABAS Click. So the first thing I ever designed was the Hulk. Normally the Hulk yells out smash.
Right.
In the comics and shit, right? Yeah. It was the Hulk, but he yelled out ABAS Click. That was the first thing I ever drew. And then my homie Max Duenas, my bad for saying fucking up your name.
You good.
He went to Mexico. Like he went to Mexico. Like he goes to Mexico regularly, right? He went to Mexico, and he made us these bracelets, ABAS bracelets. Like it was like hand.
So then you got to see it on something.
And this was like probably like 8-9 years ago, because I have the picture on my Instagram still. He made us bracelets, and like the more we did shit like that, and then one of our friends Xander, went out my freshman year in college, was like, oh, let's all get Cuban links, Cuban chains, and just call it ABAS links. You feel me? He didn't call it that though, but that's what I assimilated to. Right. He said, let's just get ABAS chains. So we all got like these Cuban gold links. You feel me? And it was our ABAS chain. Like, so we kept doing things that was making us like part
just
of this
branding
clique,
branding your squad, your market.
And I'm like, in my mind, I'm like, nah, it's more than us. It's more than this. You feel me?
Yeah. So
my sophomore year, no, not sophomore, probably junior year. Then I was like, nah, I'm gonna just start. So I put all these niggas in the group chat, and I said, how y'all feel if I started a brand? Because again, even though me and Brandon started it, it was our thing.
Multiple, yeah.
You feel me? So I texted him. I was like, how y'all feel if I started a brand called ABAS? And I want nobody to come back and sue me later when I get big. I literally put that in the chat. I still got that chat to this day for lawyer reasons and shit, right? But I put it in the chat, and I was like, how y'all feel if I started a brand? And the first thing I drew was a baseball jersey. And they all got it too to this day. And I was like, how y'all feel if I make a brand? They're like, go ahead. And I was like, all right. And 2 weeks later, I started my first shirts. And then that's how that whole thing started.
And now we're here.
Now we're here.
How many shirts do you know? How many, rough estimate, how many design drop shirts are you got now?
Drops?
That you got, people can cop. Where you at now? What number? Just the estimate. You ain't got to be precise.
I'm definitely 20s or 30s for sure.
20 or 30s. And while we're on that right now, you give out all your socials right now. Y'all pay attention. Go Instagram, follow the kid.
Everything social media is ABAS clothing on everything. Twitter, Facebook. Oh, not Facebook, but Twitter, Instagram, TikTok, Pinterest, ABAS clothing. And then for Facebook, it's ABAS 2.0, because I had to change my Facebook because, Facebook advertising purposes and shit. But yeah, ABAS 2.0 on Facebook. But everything else, ABAS clothing.
Yo, tap in, just find them. They're accurate, man. You'll get an update when any drop comes. Any discount come, any plus come, anything new.
And we drop regularly.
Random on a Tuesday night, you might get a text message from a little DM, or unless I don't know if you do VIP stuff. I don't know if you get, but if everybody getting it, all you gotta do is follow, because you're gonna get the message.
On GOD, we do a lot of VIP stuff too. So if you sign up for the text message list, you get a lot of VIPs, a lot of discounts, a lot of early drops, a whole lot of everything. You feel me? So like,
how busy is the business keeping you right now?
Right now I'm busy because I just had a drop about a week and a half ago.
Okay.
It ain't always like that. I'm not gonna paint the picture where it's like it's booming. Like it was at one point where I was getting. There was a point in time when me and my sister, shout out Mech, we had to make 434 shirts in 3 days. That was crazy to me.
And you're pressing them yourself.
We're doing it ourselves. Like the shirts you have is one of them.
Yeah, I already know.
So it's like we have 434, 39, whatever the number is, 400 up. 400 plus.
That's nonstop hours.
We literally made shirts for 3 days straight. We didn't sleep, bro. Shout out to her, man, because like she don't get enough credit, and she's amazing.
And if you have never pressed a shirt on your own, try it one time and holler at me, because I seen it myself. I tried myself, failure on my end, man. But to press 400,
oh my, didn't sleep.
Yeah,
that wasn't even. It was probably 5 days. I lost the count of days because we were making shirts for so long that one of my homies, Dre, that I met at the time, so we're close friends now, but he met me on that tip. He came to my office to just, I had chop it up and talk about his business.
Okay.
He started folding shirts for me. He saw how busy I was like, bro, you need some help? Like, I was like, I ain't gonna lie, I do. Like, I need help. And that's how I met this nigga. Like,
that's solid though.
And we locked in ever since, so it's like,
that's definitely dope.
But there's times where the business is crazy, and I took a little hiatus and went to Africa and all of that, but Now because I just dropped, I am busy and I have a bunch of things that I'm working on. I got a bunch of ads running, so I am busy now. But I can't paint the picture where it's like it's always been like this. So there's times where I don't get shit. Like there's times where 3-4 days I don't get a single order.
But I'm gonna say, even based upon watching Young Fella this summer, whole sack every weekend.
Oh yeah,
outside
facts,
posted
facts.
that.
Yeah.
Every pop up shop.
Oh yeah,
sack
always.
whatever. He's at everything. He's
Always.
at everywhere. You know what I mean? But that's what you got to do to get out there. But also, being in the business, but learning just entrepreneurship or podcast stuff, like, the consistency. Yeah. But I know, but gotta ask this: has there been a day or time when you feel like, okay, I'm done with this, I'm gonna hang it up?
Yes. So I went through a traumatic experience from January all the way to March. That's why I went to Africa. I went through a lawsuit. I don't talk about it. I have never talked about this ever. It's the first time I'm talking about it. I went through a lawsuit, right? I went through a lawsuit. Fucked up my whole shit, man. Fucked up my whole shit. Like, my people closest to me at the time, I had a girlfriend. She didn't even know I was going through this. I didn't know how to tell. Like, for me to reach a height that I was at and like to have this, like, I didn't know how to like talk about it. So nobody, like, people that worked for me didn't know. My assistant didn't know. No, like I thought
you try taking a hit by yourself.
I just thought it would go away. Like I just like if I just ignore it long enough, it'll go away. Like I literally thought that. So that happened, and like when the result came in, I was fucked. It took everything from me. I then booked the ticket to Africa. I went to Africa. I went to my friend's wedding, Jordan Kaji's wedding in Louisiana in April, I think like 28th, 29th. And from there, I flew straight to Africa. And I was there for a month and some change. I wasn't going to come back. Like, I literally was not going to. I was supposed to come back in 2 weeks. I extended my ticket a week, then did it another week, then did it. Like, I just kept extending because I was like, I'm not coming back. Like, there's no, like, I didn't see that because it was like I reached the height where I was like, bro, I was doing so great. And everything got taken from me. It's like, how do I show face now? That's how I felt. I was so busy on people's opinion on me. I didn't care about what I was actually going through. So when I came back, mind you, the brand ain't what it is anymore. Like, I lost all hope for it because like I was in a mark to scale for real. Like I was at the point where I can scale that to like 7, 6 like figures and all that. But like having gone through that, it was like come back down to earth. And then I lost notoriety. I lost like everything. Like I wasn't dropping. I didn't post nothing on my. It was just there. And I started applying for jobs, and that's something I regret to this day. But I was in a place where I started applying for like I was like, well, I got a degree, so like let me go like see what I got hired for 3 jobs, and something in me was just like, nah, I don't want it. The first time I got hired for a marketing firm. Because I had experience in marketing. And for some reason, I was like, I said to myself, I don't like the hours. Then I got hired 3 different jobs that could pay me $100,000 at least a year. And I said, what the fuck am I doing? Like, I had to like talk like, bro, do I want to do this? Bro, granted, I'm not knocking nobody that has a job. Like, if you have a job and have a side hustle, do that. Because I had a job before I quit it. I quit too early, but once I quit, it was no going back. It was no going back for me. But it's like, if you have a job and got a side hustle, keep that as long as you can until you can like really boom all that. I quit my job too soon. I can say that for real. As an honest person, I've been doing the therapy and all that, but it's like, as a person that's honest with himself, I quit my job too soon. But once I quit though, it was not going back for me. It was.
But sometimes it's also how you produce the best thing when you got nowhere to go.
Literally.
You can't turn around.
Ain't no plan
wall
B.
right behind.
All we got is this. All we got is plan A. So in those moments coming back from Africa, I was like, I honestly was like, I think I'm done with this, bro. Like I was trying to like find a way to dissolve it. But my homie, shout out Eric Qualls, he would always call me like, hey man, like what you doing with the brand? I'm like, I don't know. He'd be like, and he would text me religiously like, hey, what's going on with the brand? I'm like, I couldn't tell you, bro. Like he's like, bro, like you still got it, like come on. And that's like
to this day, one person to
this day, man, I appreciate that. That man has always been in my corner no matter what I do, how far I go or don't go. Like
that's love.
That man was like, hey man, like no, the brand is really like, I believe in this. He would tell me how much you believe in this, and I was like, I guess like
That's love, man. Hey, he stuck with you.
He stuck with me, and that's what sparked. So I dropped, like, I made hats.
Mm-hmm.
I made 25 hats.
Yeah.
I sold out in like a few hours.
Yeah.
I was like, okay, maybe I still got it. Then I made some shirts. I made 2 color shirts. Sold out in 2 days. I was like, okay, maybe I still got it. And then I was like, let me do something big. Let me drop like 50 items. Like, I dropped 50 shirts. Sold out in about 2.5 weeks. I was like, okay. And I was like, maybe I still got it. And then I was like, let me just drop a whole collection. That's when the abundance collection, the shorts I dropped, the abundance collection come. First day, man, we did about like the first day we did 45 sales. Within a week, we did about like 120 sales, and within like a week for me is 4 days.
Bet.
It was like, I don't count Monday, but like we did about 120 sales in 4 days. I was like, oh yeah, we still got this. Oh yeah. And then from there, I was like, yeah, we back on it. And so I just dropped my latest collection for the doers. The first day that went crazy. Dope. So it's just like,
that's dope, man. Way to overcome.
Yeah.
Shout out to your boy again for being there, looking out for you. Because everybody, I'm one person. Everybody needs somebody. I'm so much on it. Even as one person, kids like, I don't need nobody. Okay, it's gonna come around to where you're gonna need me, or you're gonna need somebody. It may not be me. Maybe somebody else. At the end of every show, bro, basketball, triple threat, dribble, pass, shoot, basketball, right? But at the end of this show, like the flip it. Shout out to my boy D Taylor for putting in with the triple threat now.
Okay.
Give me your 3 things though that you can hang your hat on, or if you could tell an entrepreneur or somebody who's struggling or who's interested in the business or anything. Give me your triple threat though. It could be anything, man. Whoever's listening, whoever's inspired, because somebody, a kid from Nigeria, a kid from somewhere else is watching. Hey, I hope they watching. Tune in, baby, because we got audio too. Then we on all platforms.
Right,
you know what I'm saying?
Right.
Just Google me. I can say that now. Google it. Google me.
Google me.
That's crazy.
Google
See somebody
me.
search your brand and it pop up.
They do.
I be like,
that's the crazy part.
never would have thought about it.
They do, because
dude from Nigeria, you ever thought you'd been here?
Hell no. Hell no.
I'm a Southside kid. Same time, I'm like talking to my boys tonight. I'm like, though I know where we came from. Right. I know how we had to scrounge to get stuff. I know what our parents been through.
Right.
I'm like, it's a blessing, but also to see us networking with each other now. Make sure we always put each other on.
Yeah.
Make sure each other eat. If he got it, I got it. Like,
oh God,
it's amazing.
That's what it is.
Your 3 things that you could give right now. Your triple threat.
Whew.
Give it to me.
That's
oh yeah, I love it though. But that's why we do it live. It's uncut.
Oh,
ain't no
raw
editing.
and uncut.
Everything,
I like
baby.
I like
yes,
that.
sir.
3 things, man. Just start. That's the first one. Just start that shit, man.
Start.
Just whatever
just
it
start.
is, whatever you want to do, just start. Second one, it's supposed to be hard. It's supposed to be hard.
It's supposed to be hard.
You feel me? Like, if it was easy, everybody be doing it.
Everybody doing the same thing. I mean, people do mimic whatever, but they don't stay with it. Right? They don't stay with it. Consistency is key, dog.
If you're consistent, if you're consistent, it's for a reason. That wasn't like, if 10 people start something, and 2 of them stay consistent, and they pan out doing something good, it's because you were gifted with something that all the other 8 wasn't.
Something was there.
Something was there for you. It's not by accident. It's not by, oh, I got lucky. No. You was given that. Bad. And you stayed with it because you knew.
You didn't let it go.
You knew within you was given that.
Facts.
So
start.
First off, start. It ain't supposed to be easy. That's why it's
supposed to be easy.
And the third one, what I would say is, I can't even lie to you, man. I hate to bring it back to this, but like, stay being about it. Like,
yeah.
I hate to be so cliche, but it's like, when you about it, can't nothing tell you different.
Well, but also again, like I said, it's not crazy because we said that we was like, no, everybody talk a lot. Everybody move a certain. They think that. If you're about it, it shows in your actions. It shows every day you wake up. It shows how you communicate. It shows how your drive is. Like, dog, stop. We just love saying on the court, bro. Stop talking about it. Show me.
Yes.
I'm with some dogs. I know my boys is. I know my dogs on the court.
You talking too much.
Come
Show
on.
me,
man.
man. Stop dribbling. Because, like, literally, the collection I just dropped is called For the Doers, Not the Talkers. Like, bro,
as they say now, say less.
Say less. That's literally what that is. It's like.
That's we flipped it.
Because my thing is like, y'all gonna talk, like, people gonna be like, I hear all the time, I wanna do this, I wanna do this,
and I would say pre-COVID, I was like, but I know I've talked to people, we talk all the time, sports life, but I'm like, okay, now I'm looking at one of my boys, again, shout out to Chris Haynes, my boy Kenny Carraway, who doing it on a whole nother scale now.
Chris Haynes, actually, I actually know his brother Mark Haynes.
Oh yeah, Mark,
I used to work with Mark at our company.
Small world, like I said, man. Chris was at the place, venue tonight. Shout out to my dog, we talked about him, just killing it, but also he giving me words of encouragement, but he was like, man, you gotta just be that. I was like, I'm gonna start a posse. It was like, so I hit him up with some pointers, hit Kenny up. They was like, JJ. So I started in the closet, audio only. Kept going. And it was like, man, you gotta slide through.
Right.
I'd call people for prices on stuff. They was like crazy price. I said, man, I'm not sponsored. It's all me.
Yeah.
I'm paying for whatever.
Right.
He's like, just slide through, Jay. I walked in. I was like, as you said, right? I'm like, yeah, this is it.
Yeah.
When the guests walk in here, they gonna go,
yeah,
it's it.
Yeah, no, like I get here like, man, this
Yeah.
this is what you want to be at.
Yeah,
for
yeah.
real, man.
And so I'm like, you know, it's that like, okay, now I keep going. JT, people stop at 10. I'm about to go on my 100th episode coming up on 2 years though, January. So like, you gotta celebrate them wins though. 100th episode coming up, but then 2 years in January. So both those got to be celebrated.
Hey, I ain't gonna
They're
lie.
Be crazy.
Let's do, man.
So
let's do something.
Yeah, collabs is in mind, bro. I already got stuff. Trust me.
Not even for the 100. I'm just saying I want to do something because like I do got the In Real Life podcast. I want to get some guests in here. Like,
yeah,
I want to do something with
it's
you.
the
like,
cross connections,
man.
all that, bro. See each other win.
Let's do that because like you have a
build the platforms.
You got a platform that I feel like the whole world should know about. Like I'm honored to be here. Like, I'm
bro,
looking
I
in
appreciate
this room and I'm like, bro,
real. You don't see stepping it since the door opened. He was just like. It ain't been fake. It's been 100% real, bro. He like, dang, like Jay, you got something. I'm like, that's love. Appreciate it.
You got it.
Shout out to Eddie too, man. They didn't, every time I come in here, it's something different, something upgraded. I'm like, we got a new camera, we got the headphones. I'm like, we got lights. I mean, but it's so dope. But the vibe in here, the aura is A1, bro. And it's in sack, man. And my boy asked me that. I gotta say, he said, Jay, who got the dopest podcast in sack in your atmosphere? And I was like, man, I'm trying to get there. He said, nah, think about it. What you doing? I was like, nah, I ain't there yet, but I'm finna get there. I'm finna be it. But now that's more, I'm finna get there. I want to validate it, but for sure, man. Bro, I appreciate you.
No, I appreciate you for having me, man.
Again, y'all, look, this is a sample, but check his page out. Dope. The gear is dope. The hoodies, the t-shirts, the shorts. It's meaningful, but also colorful. It's swaggy.
We trying to
anybody.
Like, the name of the purpose of the brand is to be the Robin Hood of fashion, man. We want to give you all the latest drip at the most affordable prices. I'm not trying to rob you.
The Robin Hood of fashion, but like I said, you're gonna look like you spent a couple bucks.
You gonna look
on
like you
big
spent
bucks.
like a couple of tickets.
But I'm telling you though, you throw it on with the gear, it's gonna be. It's always different though. It's unique in its own, and I can say that while bro sitting right here because I got it, or else I wouldn't have copped it. Keep it 100. I wouldn't have to run down there pick one up. He offered a free one. I had to get that one. I bought the hoodie, so I was like, got some kicks toward that. It go perfectly. Everybody said, hey, that sweater dope. That shirt dope. Give them the socials one more time.
Social is ABAS Clothing on Instagram, on Twitter, on everything. Really, just ABAS Clothing on everything.
Man,
just tap in with us.
Yeah, tap in. Hey, y'all, do me a favor. Still subscribe, man. Subscribe, watch some shows, trying to get these viewers. I'm trying to get this YouTube connect all the way through, man. I'm 3 checks. I need one more check before I get this. Maybe get this YouTube email. You know what I'm saying? Because I want that residual income, baby. But I appreciate y'all for watching, man.
Subscribe, man.
Tune in to Farouq. Tap in with him. Shout out to DJ Eddie again, man. Always doing this thing, man.
Shout out DJ Eddie,
also, man, happy holidays to y'all. I know some people may have families to go to. They may not. Praise go out to those who have lost loved ones, man. It's been crazy 2 or 3 years in this world. It's still getting crazier. People stay safe, stay warm, man. Love on your people, though. Keep it in there. Love on your people.
That's
love
heavy.
on your people.
That's a great
check
message
on
to
them.
walk out with. Love on your people, man.
Love on your people. Check on them.
Yeah.
Send messages, man. I will say this, too, if I got here, man. I've never in my life that I would say I love you to my dogs more now than we do before. Growing up, we was like, man, we never said that. Bro, now my boys, my best friends, bro, we say, and it's not cliche because without my dogs and my family, I would not be where I was today.
Exactly, you know,
From wherever they are. I got friends all across the world.
All that tough shit.
You know what I mean? I mean, you can still do it a certain way, but also you need your ace in the hole.
Yeah.
Like when things get rough, your boy to call and check on you.
Yeah.
You need that text message, that call.
Facts.
You feel me?
Like if you don't got that, man, you gotta check your circle.
Or tap in with me. Send me a message. Tap in with Farouq. See how you doing.
Man,
shoot something back.
Yeah.
Get a shirt. You know what I'm saying? Get a shirt.
Get a shirt.
Get a shirt. Put it on the page. He gonna hit you back. He tap in with you.
I'm for sure.
Man, DJ Eddie in the back. Farouq. Coach JT. 94 feet with Coach JT. We out. Peace.